Star students, welcome back to the Astro Study Room. I'm Ember Faye, your friendly neighborhood fire fairy witch.
And I'm Jordan, a university librarian by day and a dedicated astrology student by night. And yes, welcome back to the Astro Study Room.
Our goal for this podcast is to feel like a group of badass students of all levels gathering to explore, reflect, question, and connect with the cosmos. So, no matter where you're at in your spiritual or astrology journey, learning is a forever game, growth is cyclical, and curiosity is sacred. We are thrilled to have you wandering around the universe with us. So, make sure you grab your notes and pens or just bring yourself and an open mind.
So, whether you identify as an astrologer, a witch, a wizard, a mystic, a spiritual seeker, or simply a curious human, you belong here. This is a study room for everyone and for all of it. Every other Tuesday, we will be exploring different astrology and spiritual topics, sometimes teaching, sometimes reflecting, and sometimes just chatting and wondering out loud together. If you're into it, we'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, and just know you can always come hang out with us in the study room.
You can follow us at the Astro Study Room on Instagram and TikTok. And as a reminder, the Astro Study Room is live on YouTube. So if you're more of a visual person, you can like put us on in the background while you're cooking or something like that and check us out there. And Jordan, how can people get an incredible astrology reading with you?
I do natal and solar return consultations where we can talk about what your soul intends for you for this lifetime. I also offer cosmic check-ins where we can talk about any current transits going on or anything you want to ask about your chart or anything you want to talk about in regards to astrology. What about you, Ember?
I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube under Ember Faye Magic, and you can sign up for my newsletter or take my free quiz on discovering your central shadow archetype. And speaking of the quiz, I have some incredible archetype workbooks that I've created to help you dive deeper into your central shadows that are available at my website, linked in the show notes and on my socials.
Ooh. All right. So today we're going to be talking about Leo. You want to dive into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So buckle up, star students. No, I didn't like that. Nope.
Star students.
Star students.
It's good to
It
play.
was it was so weird reading your parts. Like I was like, this is
Oh.
weird. So buckle up, star students. Class is officially out and the study room is in session. As we're making our way through our zodiac series, just remember that we have all the signs in our charts, with each sign occupying a house based on your rising sign. So make sure you take a look at your chart, see what house Leo is in for you, and notice if you have any planets there. It'll be good to just listen and reflect on what this could mean for you, or maybe you have like a strong Leo in your life. You probably know you do.
We all do. Mom, I'm talking to you. Shout out to our biggest fan, my mom. She's a Leo. Okay, so as we've been doing with all of these, I want to start, Ember, by asking you to tell us what you know about Leo today before our conversation.
Today, I know it's a fire sign.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it is uh a oh my God.
You can really tell that you don't have any placements here.
They're known for like, hey, I'm a Leo.
Yeah, I love it.
Um, yeah, they're like it's like a masculine sign.
Yeah.
I know that it is oh
Oh, yeah.
fixed. It's
Yeah.
fixed. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a fixed sign. I'm like, what comes between cardinal and mutable?
It do be fixed.
Um, so they're also like, I'm a Leo, and you'll never change my mind about anything.
And who's
Um,
the ruler?
ah, the sun.
The sun.
The sun. So
Do,
I
do,
think it's
do, do.
fun. We just did like our moon with Cancer, and now we're going into Leo, which is our sun.
God, it's almost like there's a rhyme or reason to all these patterns.
Whenever I realize there's patterns in astrology, which I'm just like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, well, I kind of, I kind of pictured going into this a little bit later, but I knew it would come up. One of the interesting things is that, so we've talked about before, Venus and
Mars?
Mars oppose each other, and Jupiter and Mercury oppose each other, and then Saturn opposes both the moon and the sun.
How does it oppose both?
So like the sun, like Leo opposes Aquarius, and
Oh,
Capricorn opposes Cancer.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, so like we talked about, let me say that again. So like Ember mentioned, Leo is a masculine fixed fire sign ruled by the sun. We'll dive into our keywords. So Leos, or Leo itself, some keywords are playful, warm, enthusiastic, optimistic, generous, expressive, dramatic, committed, proud, boastful, stubborn, devoted, loyal, consistent, reliable, and outgoing, and expressive, I would say too.
I think you said expressive.
Great. I did say expressive. It is on here. It is indeed on here twice.
Yeah, that's all like, I don't know. Those are all like really nice things. No, I think those are all very, like when I think of Leo, I think of this just like, I don't know. I always think of Simba. Like Simba is a
Yeah.
Leo.
Well, we did talk about The Lion King when we did our Sun episode, so it makes sense.
I know, but also just like his personality too. Like, I mean, the hero's
Yeah.
journey and all that, right? Like, that's what we talked about with the son, that like
Yeah.
that whole story is very reflective of the hero's journey, but even his personality, he's just this like optimistic, like
Yeah.
fun little guy that's very like he's like loyal to his friends and super like, proud and stubborn and outgoing. I
And
don't know.
another word that gets like connected with Leo a lot, and I mean, this has to be a 12-letter alphabet thing, but I think, or natural houses, I think another word is like childlike, which is definitely very Simba. And I guess like saying that too, I do associate the hero's journey more with the sun in Aries, exalted in Aries. And so I don't know, there's something else for Leo then in the Leo story.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking like Lion King meets Game of Thrones.
Yikes. Like the dramatic part of it?
I guess like one of the archetypes of Leo is like the monarch. So I guess I was thinking
Oh.
the personality of Simba, but sitting on a throne.
I mean, well, he does become king. Very like
True.
he has to
Yeah.
like kill Scar. That's pretty freaking Game of
Yeah,
Thrones.
but then I guess it starts to feel Aries like with because I associate that hero's journey with Aries, but
Oh.
they're still fire signs.
Yeah, I think so. And I think Simba is definitely not Aries. I think he's like way too giving and optimistic and like, I don't know.
Yeah. I forgot to do this in our last episode, but I kept meaning to like talk about how each sign like builds upon the one that came before it. And so Cancer, being a feminine water sign ruled by the moon, will internalize a lot of things and therefore can come across as more private, not necessarily private, but it's not as outwardly expressed. Whereas Leo is quick to put things out into the world, and I do love the imagery of like the sun shining bright and shining its rays and just putting those out onto our actual earth. And the moon, ruling Cancer, the moon is our body, where the sun is our spirit. And I always think that that's interesting.
The moon is our body?
Hmm.
I didn't know that. Have we ever talked about that?
Probably in our moon episode.
Like, what do
I
you
will
mean? It's like
say,
our entire body?
yeah, like the moon rules the physical body, and the sun is our soul.
That does, I mean, the sun being our soul makes sense to me. The moon, I always thought was like, I guess soul and spirit. No, I feel like soul and spirit. I would have thought the moon was like a spirit, like the internal, um, like intuition, like that kind of thing, like our subconscious, which it is, but I just didn't
Yeah.
realize that was also the body.
Yeah, I think like I will say like this is just something everyone says about the moon. The only thing that I can think of is that, the moon is our mother, the moon is the womb, and we are born from this womb, which is a physical embodiment thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I just came up with that on the fly, but it feels right.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say when you brought up the natural houses. Just as a
Oh.
reminder to people about the natural houses, so that would be the reason you said childlike, right? Is because it would be Leo would be associated with the fifth house.
Hmm.
Okay, which is like your house of play and hobbies, and so that would
It's the
make sense.
house that rules children.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that too.
That'll do it.
I don't know. I'm like, it's the house of play, which feels more important than it's the house of children. I don't know why.
I
'Cause-
think in, I could be wrong, but don't quote me on this. I want to say, is it traditional? I want to say super traditional astrology. Children is the number one keyword for fifth house. I could totally be wrong. I know that Venus has joy in the fifth house, and so some fifth house keywords came from Venus, which is like where we get pleasure and joy and hobbies, because those are Venus-y, Venusian things. And then Leo was plopped here. So
Go
you
ahead.
said you knew some Leos, right?
Yeah.
What are they like?
The first Leo that I always think of is my burlesque mentor, Tessa Trueheart. She is like a true Leo. She's like ultimate like showgirl.
That sounds very stereotypical, yeah.
I know, right? And she like spends a lot of time just like she's definitely a leader. She spends a lot of time like mentoring as well. And she's very proud to do what she does, as she should be.
Yeah, well, I asked that because I was really interested to see like if we could talk about a Leo in your life who is a leader, and I'm actually impressed that one came up so easily.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she's like the perfect example of a
Yeah.
Leo.
And
She
I love,
embodies.
yeah, because Leo's the one who is like always willing to step up and like take on extra responsibilities. They're the ones that are like who would volunteer to take charge, or like they're the ones that are like, yeah, I'm totally down to take on more work, but also to like for the glory, to get the credit of it too. Then we can talk about dignity and who has dignity in Leo. And when I've never like thought about this, I guess.
Dignitaries.
Right, right. I've never thought about this, but no one likes to be in Leo except the sun. But we have two planets that do not like to be in Leo. We have Saturn, who is in detriment, and some people say I think after some time I have come to not agree with this, but some people say that Mercury is in fall in Leo.
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember from our Mercury episode, but Mercury is like the weird one where Mercury is in fall in Pisces, but also in detriment in Pisces. Like usually a planet has a
Oh,
different axis that they have that on, but for some reason Mercury doesn't. But Mercury's always been a little weird.
I know, the in between. So, what is the controversy of like Mercury and fall in Leo? And
I
what?
believe it's traditional astrologers that vibe more with Leo and fall in Pisces, and I believe modern astrologers put Mercury and fall in Leo.
Wait, Leo and fall in Pisces?
Mercury and fall in Leo is, I think, the more modern approach.
Okay, versus Mercury and fall in Pisces.
Right. Which I
Okay.
believe aligns more with the traditional views.
Okay.
That's at least like I haven't like read that as a statement, but the astrologers I know, it's the modern ones who I've seen put Mercury in fall in Leo.
Why?
Why do they do that? I don't know. So some people also say that Uranus is a higher octave of Mercury, which is another thing I don't necessarily agree with. And I don't even know, I don't think that's even a modern approach. I think that's like a pop astrology thing.
Hmm.
Um, but Uranus in modern astrology rules Aquarius. And if you connect Uranus and Mercury, you could say that. I've seen people, I think, talk about in fall in Leo because like Mercury is the mind and Leo is the heart.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think exalted in Aquarius because I don't know, something really powerful when you're really good with words and super smart and an Aquarius or something.
Okay, so we know for sure then that like the sun is exalted in Leo.
The sun
No,
is
it's
at
in
home in
at home.
domicile.
The sun is in domicile
Nobody is
and
exalted.
Saturn is in detriment.
Right.
And then like maybe Mercury is in fall.
Yeah.
Okay. And nothing is exalted in Leo.
Nope.
Sad.
Yeah.
Leo is just in and of itself amazing. It's like, I'm me, I'm enough. So, as far as the roles, then, I'm assuming it's like,
I love that you call them roles.
what's the right word?
There's no right. No, that's not wrong. I just call them archetypes, but I like the word role.
Oh, I feel like they're little roles on a stage. I
Yeah.
don't know. Which speaking of, so Leo is probably a performer, right?
Yep. Performer. I already mentioned the monarch.
What else would Leo be?
You can kind of like build more off of that, like along with performer, like Leo is the artist, the storyteller, the actor, kind of things just along the lines of performer.
Mm,
But Leo is the child. I also would include the lion as an archetype because I think the lion just is a really strong archetype, at least in
I
our
agree.
culture. Yeah. So I
I
include the
think
lion.
and the child is so interesting. I never think of Leo as the child. I think of them as like a leader.
I
Um,
know. I think this is one of those things where like, and I will say through our episodes, like I am more open to natural houses than I ever have been. And I was sad. I think we forgot to do this the last maybe even like few episodes because I wanted to ask you like each one to like try not to like test you, but to like try to convince me based off of my chart. Because the first two, like I was a little bit like, dang. But this is one where I'm kind of like, I don't know if that makes sense here.
what's in your fifth house?
So I would ask you, so I have Leo in my 10th house,
Okay.
and then fifth house is Pisces. But I would be asking you how my fifth and 10th house connect, I guess. I think that's
Yeah, it would be your fifth house because, right, Leo is associated with the fifth house.
okay, yeah. So is it you look at my Pisces and see Leo qualities in it? Is that how this works?
I look at your fifth house, yes, and look for like in your fifth house. So I think like I'm trying to remember how to do this.
I thought
Um,
about it and I tried to connect the two. Like, I guess most immediately I would think like again, I don't really know the correct way to do it, but I was thinking along the lines of like how do my fifth and 10th house connect? But maybe that's not the right way.
yeah, you're right. It's your 10th house that's ruled by like that's how you do it. It's like your 10th house that is ruled by Leo.
And I think like so you would like bring fifth house qualities to that, I think. So you would say like my career is like tied up with like hobbies and children enjoy or whatever.
I see, like, I've never done natural house readings before. I've only ever like associated the different houses like with the sign. So, like, if I were to ask about like how something impacts me, like a certain thing, I would look to like that sign. So, if I was looking to like how I ex or where, I don't know, where I feel my most like performative leader self, I would look to see like where Leo is in my chart and also the fifth house. Like I like look at those things together, if that makes sense. So it's more, it's like that's where like it's the modern astrology coming in that's like I think tripping me up. Like it's
Okay,
like to
so
answer questions about like my personality, I guess.
okay. So in this and for the most part modern astrology does focus more on personality anyway and
Yeah, that
psychology.
makes sense.
Okay, so following that line, so everyone so you would look to where they have Leo and in everyone's chart you would look to fifth house for leadership qualities. And then I guess you would look at the sign that is in there that occupies their fifth house.
And any planets or anything that's there.
And so like if so I have Pisces and Jupiter, would you then like apply leadership qualities to like Piscean qualities like
Yeah, I
spirituality and
would say that
charity?
like as an aspect, like as a leader, you are, you have like, you approach your career, right? Like that is like you could be like a leader in your career.
Hmm.
And as a leader, you are also somebody who maybe is like a little has like big dreams and ideas and like not as grounded.
Mm,
Um, that's kind of how I would like combine those.
that sounds right. Or that's not like I think that sounds like the correct way to
Yeah, it's like
use this
looking at
technique.
both. It almost feels like another placement to just look at things and different aspects of your life. So like,
Yeah.
for example, if you were looking for, I don't know, um, stuff about pleasure and sex and taboo and kink for me, right? Like that would be
I
the
knew
eighth
that's what
house
you were
for
gonna
me.
say, yeah. I was like, I know you're thinking, but I know you're just gonna say Scorpio.
I did. I did just say
And you did, I was
Scorpio.
right.
I did. Anyways, that was an exercise for my brain.
Yeah, join us next time when I ask you about my 11th house Virgo. So let's talk about the glyph. I'm gonna put it up on the screen here, but we have a circle, which you might know more about this than I do, but the circle is like its wholeness.
Yeah, it's like self. Like I think of the circle as
Okay.
self. And then the squiggly line, I don't know. It's like a squiggly line. Honestly, it looks like a sperm.
It does.
Have I said that before? Is there another thing that
No,
looks
I don't think
like
you have, but it does. It is interesting because Cancer and the moon is the womb.
uh-huh. And then the Leo is the sperm. That's like the first thing that came to mind. I like was reading that people think it looks like a lion's mane, and I was like, I don't see it.
Sometimes I feel like people really stretch things.
Yeah, right? I'm like, this, I cannot unsee the sperm. This is all this is. It's
I
very
could see, as
masculine.
far as like the lion, like I could see it being like a side profile of a lion and just like the mane behind it.
I guess
Um,
so. I
and
guess if
actually, as
you're
I say
making
that,
like
I'm
a
like,
big
actually, that looks perfectly right to me, as much as anything else has. But still, in general, sometimes I feel like people do try to make up patterns that aren't there.
I guess it looks to me like a girl with a ponytail or a sperm.
Choose your own adventure. Which
Um,
one feels right to you?
yeah, but I do really think though, like, I don't know, something that just came to mind, right? If we're saying the circle self, it's also a very like outward expression, right? It's like the
Mhm.
self and then like the movement of energy outwards as well.
I think about like the sun's ray. It doesn't completely make sense with the shape of Leo, but I think about the sun's rays and how it like bounces off of things. It doesn't totally
Hmm.
work because like the sun's rays come out and down first, which is not how it looks in the glyph, but like I can still vibe with it.
I can survive with it. Okay, I have no idea what the power statement is. My thought
You
was
know,
like,
I do think moving forward we should just have you guess them.
I mean, sometimes I do know them.
Oh, really?
I
Which
think
ones do
we
you
have been
know?
guessing. Yeah, I think I have been guessing.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I write them. Yeah, I've been
Not me
guessing.
not
I've just
knowing
been
our own
on
show.
point. I don't know. I show was like the what I thought.
Show. So it's I create.
Oh, that I can see that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's another one where I'm like, are Leos creative or is that a fifth house thing? And like it is a Leo thing. Like fire is associated with creativity.
But in our story, you know how we were talking about like Aries is like the spark and that Leo was a bonfire? Is that?
Yeah, should we talk about that now?
Yeah, because I it's interesting. Like I would not have picked I create because that feels like a very general fire sign thing. But I guess
Yeah, because
Leos
it
are
does feel like it does feel more sparky. The only thing I can think of with that is like creation takes dedication. And like when we think about like creation as far as like the creation of sex and everything, like that is more than just a moment of spark. Like that is a year of dedication to
yeah.
your body building a baby. Unless you're the man, then fuck off.
Which Leo is like the masculine sign.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it's also, I guess, fixed. We haven't really talked much about that. So it does have that like dedication to actually be able to like sit on something, I think, and create
Yeah.
versus like an Aries, which would quickly like move on,
Yeah.
you
And
know.
like as far as like a typical like a crafty artist, like the Aries is gonna like I don't even think they'd like go spend a bunch of money on the products, but I do think of like I could see them being thrifty and like I could see an Aries being like resourceful and frugal and just like being able to create stuff that they just already have. But I do see them like coming up with this idea of like I'm gonna make all these things and I'm gonna sell them on Etsy and then they make a couple and they never post anything. But it takes like the long-term creation to get that far, I guess.
Yeah. And I don't know, I think I like mine better.
I show.
I show.
Okay.
Because it is like I create, but not only do they create, but they also are like, look at the thing I've created. It's awesome,
hmm
right? Like, I feel like I think of earthy signs as creating too, but maybe that's more of like a beauty, like earthy, feminine thing. I guess not.
No, I mean, like I'm thinking about the Earth signs now. So we've got, to me, like now I'm kind of thinking about their planets. Like Taurus is an artistic sign, but that's because of Venus.
Yeah.
Virgo is a very analytical sign because of Mercury, which doesn't mean they can't be creative, but it's not the typical creative that we think of in an artsy way.
Mm.
It's more of like they can look at a math problem and think of two ways to solve it.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking of Taurus, and I think that was because of Venus.
hmm
And so, yeah, I guess Leo does make the most sense for this one. But then I'm going to be really curious what Sag is.
Well, I was told not to spoil any.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Do we
I
talk?
do would
Oh,
okay. I don't know if we should go through this, but I would love to like memorialize now. Like what are your guesses for the rest of them? What do you think Virgo's is?
no, I don't want to do that
I
right
knew you were
now.
gonna say no.
No.
Will you give me your guess for Sag?
Um, but I was like, I go. I like go do the things.
I like
Go
it.
do stuff. I learn maybe? No, not like or like
It's
I
Gemini's, yeah. Or
yeah.
Gemini's is also, I think.
Yeah, Gemini's is I think. I don't know. I think of Sag as like has wisdom and likes to travel and
I like
anyway,
I
this
go. I like that guess.
I go. Anyway, this is not a Sagittarius episode.
No, but I
Um,
do want to go back to that fire imagery where Aries is the strike of the match and Leo is the bonfire and then Sagittarius is the wildfire. And so what I we talked about this in the Aries episode, but to kind of like continue with that imagery, like we said, Aries is that spark, it's that first idea, but they burn out pretty quickly. They don't stay lit for very long. You got to use it and then it's dead. Leo, the bonfire is stationary. It can't go anywhere. It can grow in like its own little circle, but like it has its limits. It can't go
mm,
endlessly. And it also needs people to tend to it to continue making it bigger. And then on the other hand, too, a bonfire is really hard to put out. Even after you've put out most of the fire, there's still embers, and you still have to like you really have to watch it. Bless you. You really have to like be present and watch it. And then Sagittarius is that wildfire, and that fire will keep looking for new things to burn, and it'll just move on. It doesn't need someone to keep tending it. It'll move itself on. So I think that's a really interesting way to dive into that imagery.
I love that.
Something I like thinking about between Aries and Leo is like their competitive nature, where Aries, I would say, enjoys a competition and like thrives in being competitive, and Leo wants to be the best at everything, but I wouldn't say that they're competitive. I would say like they want to be the best at everything, but they also don't want an opponent. Like they would be totally happy to just have best of handed to them with without having to fight anybody. Whereas Aries, like they want the glory of like, and I beat you to this kind of thing.
Hmm. So like the athlete competitor versus the
The
like
king who just got it by birthright.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or I was gonna say just like the actor on the stage. It's like their spotlight. They're both, celebrities in that way,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. And I kind of already said, I guess, my main thing between Leo and Sagittarius with the whole like Leo needs tending to, and Sagittarius will just move on their own. And one of the keywords with Sagittarius is like you can't tie down a Sagittarius. Like they need to be free spirited. Free spirited, that's what I was looking for. They're free spirited. And they will just move on with or without you. But Leo needs you to be there. Leo needs, and I'm kind of like bringing it again to like the monarch archetype. There is no monarch if there are no citizens. Like if there is no body of, if there is no nation supporting this monarch, then there is no monarch.
There's no show if there's no audience.
There's no thrones if there's no games. But no, you're right. What you're saying was good. I don't know why I thought of that. I feel like they've been the easiest to like.
Yeah, I agree. I do think the fire signs, they're just such a tangible. Fire is such a tangible element, which
Well,
makes
it's
it really
interesting because I find Earth to be the hardest to come up with this imagery for, which is would be like should be the most tangible. Interestingly,
yeah. I guess when I think of fire, it's like I understand the concepts of fire.
we all
In
have very like conscious experiences with fire too. Like a lot of us like walk the Earth without thinking as much about the Earth, but like you don't walk past a fire and not think about it.
That is exactly what I think I'm trying to say is that like we just have this like very like this knowledge about fire that like fire is beautiful, we enjoy it, it's social, it can also be
It
destructive
started our
and
lives, like it's
terrible.
the start of our
Yeah.
history, we call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's talked about a lot
It
compared
is.
to
I
just
like as you're saying it, I'm
common.
like we learned about it so much in school.
Yeah.
And I guess like
And
we learn about the earth too, but like yeah, fire hits in a different way, I guess.
I know, and I don't know why. And makes it interesting. I'll like share this that I'm on this journey with fire right now. That's been like really difficult for me. Like I feel like I have a lot of fear around fire. This is like getting emotional, but like I just have a lot of fear around fire, and I don't really know necessarily where that's come from. And I have a lot of respect for it. But it makes it very hard for me to connect to it, which is crazy because I'm like I am fire fairy. Like I've always felt very connected to fire,
Fire
but when I
fairy.
actually like dive deeper into it, it's like that connection. There's like a long history of like trying to like tease out that connection of respect and fear, and it's been kind of wild. So,
Yeah. This is the whole thing, like, and this isn't really specific to Leo anymore, but just like, yeah, how fire is so dangerous and also so it's so natural and so necessary. They say, one of the theories is that our brains grew to the size that they did because we learned fire. And I don't think we're ever gonna be able to like prove that, but like it's so
I've
dangerous
never
and
heard
it's
that
so vital.
before.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
think it was something to do with like we learned how to utilize fire, meaning like we learned how to cook and we were like able to consume more calories safely, and so our brains were able to use more calories. Because I know like our brains like use the most calories or something proportionally to the rest of our bodies or something like that.
Huh.
Um, I want to double check that. I want to say like 25% of our calories go to our brain. How
That
much
sounds right.
of the brain? No, how much of our calories goes to the brain? 20 to 25%. I'm so smart. And then to talk about the other fixed signs. So we've already compared. No, we didn't. Did we compare to Aquarius?
No.
Oh, gosh. I think we usually start there. Okay. To talk about the other fixed signs, first we'll talk about Aquarius. So Aquarius is on the axis with Leo. So these two oppose each other. And again, I've said this a few times, I think, but like the whole idea with astrology, or especially I would say modern archetypal astrology, is that you want to get to like the center of the zodiac wheel. Like that is the ideal. We all have these signs within us, as Ember said earlier, and each sign has their pros and cons. And so you want to get to the center to really embody all of it, the good and the bad. Aquarius is cold, where Leo is hot. And I said this earlier. So, like, the sun is the hottest planet, and Saturn is the farthest away from us in traditional astrology, and it's the coldest. Aquarius is detached, and Leo is not. And so, when I think of that, I think of Leo as like, Leo is very heartfelt, very warm, very loving. I think going along with like the monarch themes, like I kind of picture like a romanticized tavern type vibe with like the candle lit and everyone's just like drinking and dancing and singing into the night. And I picture that, and it's just very warm and it's very comforting and it's very like love feeling. And Aquarius is just there's just not as much heart in Aquarius, or
Hmm.
Capricorn as well, being a Saturn sign. So yeah, so Aquarius is detached, whereas Leo is not. Leo is young, because again, very childlike, and Aquarius is old. Aquarius and Saturn are associated with being elders. Leo is focused on me, and Aquarius is focused on us. And I would say Leo lives more in the now, and Aquarius is more concerned with the future.
The future.
Yeah.
Hmm. It'll be interesting when we go through Aquarius because I've definitely learned about Aquarius more, I think, through like a modern lens of
Hmm.
it being like the rebel and the changer and all these things. So it being like this old, I don't know, old cold soul.
That is going to be interesting because I think we all learned that with Aquarius, and I don't even like, I'm not claiming that any of that is wrong. It's definitely not like the traditional Aquarius, but I do want to have space for like, however, this is what we use now.
Yeah.
Um, this is what's like currently happening. I don't know how to sort of like rectify the two together, but I do feel like they're like the most different, like the most changed out of the signs. That
Yeah, I agree with that, I think. I which makes sense, right? Because it's like ones that have been associated with sort of like the more modern planets as well.
because
So
that's
I
the thing,
think
Aquarius is a fixed sign. Like you don't think fixed as like rebellious. Like that sounds like a cardinal thing.
I don't think so because I don't think rebellious needs to like be the beginning of change of something. It's just doing things differently. So like if they are really set in their ways and they're like, this is what I do and this is how I do it and I don't care, that's pretty fixed and that's still rebellious
Okay. I think people do, maybe I'm wrong. I think people do associate Aquarius with change, but I think that's specifically
because of your honest.
a Uranus thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What are the others? So there's rebellious, there's weird, but I think weird, I think people have used that with traditional astrology as well.
I mean, if you're talking old and cold, that's also kind of weird.
I think that's the thing because it's the vibe of like I just don't care.
Yeah, and I think it's like like right, like a Leo naturally just like brings people in. They like pay attention to them,
Mhm.
whereas the Aquarius, like you said, doesn't care. And
It's
I do,
detached.
yeah, and I think that is, especially in our modern day society, considered weird. Like people who don't care about what other people think, and
Mhm.
people, they're weird. They're outside the norm. We're neurodivergent. Like, so.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting when we get to like the second half of the zodiac signs and we start to like
Talk about
relate
them
them
again,
back
yeah.
and we can, I think
Yeah.
we'll have new things to talk about, which will be fun.
We're almost there.
I know.
Almost halfway done. Wow.
I know. Isn't that wild?
Yeah. How are you all liking this series? Interact with us. So to compare Leo with the other fixed signs, so we have Taurus. I would say Leo, so they say Taurus is like the most fixed of the fixed signs because it's Earth. So I would say Leo is slightly more flexible than Taurus. And then I think Taurus being a Venusian sign, Taurus is concerned with and excited by like the sensual things in life, and just like the feeling and just like the things that are in front of you and things that are tangible. And Leo can be a lot more geared towards the spiritual or like the things of spirit, and enjoys things that are creative expression, even though you can make those things tangible. And of course, a Taurus can enjoy those things as well. Like Taurus, likes to play with clay, is the typical idea. Whereas Leo, I think, would be more geared towards painting, more than a Taurus would be. And then Leo and Scorpio. Scorpio is our fixed water sign. Both of these signs are very loyal. Leo wants control. I kind of feel like for the sake of control, again, it might be like for the glory, it might be for the like just wanting to be the best, where I feel like Scorpio needs control to like for actual safety and protection.
Like
Um,
that deeper water sign feeling.
yeah, and I think like being Mars too, like there is just like a fight aspect to well, there's a fight aspect to Mars, and so I kind of think that's one of the like the shadows of Scorpio is oftentimes like fear.
Hmm.
Scorpio is not necessarily like as externally public as like a Leo would be. So like Scorpio might have like a smaller circle of friends. They might be more private about their friends, where I feel like Leo is like posting about their friends, wants to be the center of attention to their friends, and also wants to be witnessed as having friends. Where Scorpio isn't really thinking about that.
Witnessed as having friends.
Yeah. Like I could see like Scorpio or Leo wants to like have a big group of friends and wants other people to know that they have a big group of friends. Like I have this vision in my head of like someone like in high school hanging out with like their big circle of friends that they've curated of the most pretty popular people and then is actively making eye contact with everyone outside of their circle to make sure that they see like I'm with the cool pretty popular people and I've got a lot of friends.
That's so funny.
It's so specific.
All right, Jordan, do you want to talk about some Leo magic?
Let's do it. What do you got?
So, Jordan and I were talking before this episode, and I was like, I think I'm gonna talk like glamour magic for Leo. And Jordan was like, yeah, I think of like the lion, lion's breath. And I just got this image of, have you seen Ted Lasso?
No.
Oh my gosh, there's a scene in there where one of the main characters, she like goes to a mirror and is like getting herself psyched up and like does the full on like arms in the air, like lion's breath.
Yeah.
Um, and I totally agree with you. I think that's very like doing acting and things to like build our confidence, wearing like the clothes that make us feel good, the putting on the makeup, the mask, like all these things I think are really great expressions of Leo magic. Like just taking center stage and like putting ourselves front and forward in this like I don't want to say like performative way because I don't know if it's like
I kind of do, but it's fun. It doesn't have
yeah,
to be
like
bad.
it's like performance for self to like that's where the magic comes in, I think, is like what is going to make you feel good? What is going to give you the confidence you need to like step up at that meeting and freaking rock it and be a leader? What is it going to take for you to like, even like have a difficult conversation about like your needs and wants and desires? Like, what do you need to do to get there? And maybe it is like put on some makeup. Maybe it is standing in front of a mirror and like doing these postures that are going to make you feel super confident. Yeah, glamour magic just felt like fun and it's creative too, right? So like I think, you know, adding that aspect of like the physical and the physical attraction and looks could definitely be like a really fun way to play with Leo.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And I was thinking too of like going just different different ways of the same thing you already said, but like the standing in front of the mirror and doing like the superhero pose. And I know that there's like actual data that that does increase confidence throughout the day or something. Like if you do it for like 5 minutes in front of the mirror. That's definitely the glamour magic I associate with Leo.
And then as far as like tools and whatnot, I mean, it's a fire sign, so like absolutely.
Candles.
But yeah, playing with candles and fire.
Let's talk about the matches you were playing with during this episode.
Oh yeah, I don't know why. I was channeling Leo to set my own bonfire in my basement. Um, mm, I'm getting this like imagery, right, of like a Leo setting the stage for themselves, like setting the ambiance for themselves. The Leos like we said, they're the actors, they're these leaders, they're artists, they're stories, they're the monarch, and like you have the power to set this stage. And so I think that's where like the creative spark can come in, where like you're setting candles all around yourself for ritual, like getting yourself in that space to really like, I don't know, I'm picturing like a Leo like really performs the ritual, like they're the ones that are up there and being, our high priestess is a Leo rising, right? Like she's up there and like really just taking on that mantle of magic and I don't know, adding the performative fun part because I think that is really fun and feels very like Leo.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking about her too, actually.
Okay. And then for okay. So for our tarot card, we are going to talk about strength when we're talking about Leo. And that card just very much embodies a Leo, right? It's like I think there's a lion on the card, isn't there?
Mhm.
What is the strength? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like the lion and she's opening the mouth. Yeah. So there's literally like this woman that is having this like own I don't want to say ownership, but kind of like this control over the lion. And that card represents just like charisma and confidence and um power in a way and this like energy. So I think that it's like this, I don't know, it's like a balance of power and compassion, which I do think like maybe can describe a Leo when we were talking about comparing it to something like Capricorn or no, we didn't talk about Capricorn, did we?
Talk about Taurus, if that's what you're thinking. Taurus and Aquarius.
Taurus, I guess more like Aquarius, where you're talking like this detachment style.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like power and authority with compassion. Yeah, like that's how I would describe the strength card, and I do think that like translates over to Leo very well too. She like cares, like a Leo cares. It's like showing strength and showing this like leadership over such a powerful creature and still showing it compassion and love. And I think that's a very great description of a leader that's a Leo.
That's interesting. I was kind of thinking of like, I see what you're saying about compassion. I think like we could twist that into several different ways of like, did the lion ask to be controlled, whatever. But I was thinking of like how courageous you must be to take on the animal of courage.
I like that a lot too.
Yeah.
I just like when I look at the card, it just doesn't seem like the lion literally has its like little tail down.
No,
Like
no,
it,
no. The lion
you
doesn't
know.
look upset by any means.
So I don't know, but I really like that. Like the strength to take on the courage and that mantle of courage. That's beautiful.
Okay, welcome back. So we're gonna finish up our episode with our favorite. What would Leo do? Okay, so how this works, I'm gonna give Ember a couple scenarios and then she's gonna talk about what a Leo would do.
This is hard because I mean, it's basically going to be what would Tessa do, but
I
hopefully
think
not.
you did that with Cancer.
I don't want that stereotype in there. So
I think you did that with Cancer where you were like, what would I do?
it's like I have to picture a person.
Okay, so you're a Leo. Someone compliments you on your outfit.
Thank you. I know.
Yeah, I think thank you, I know. I think this isn't like I could see Leo, like I guess again, I really just very strongly picture like monarchs. I kind of picture like they flip out their cape and they're like, "Thank you." Like, "Look at my cape." So who is Leo in like a high school group project?
Okay, my gut is saying they're the person that's like leading the project and like telling people what to do. They're like the delegators. They're like, you do this and you do this and you do this. And
Yeah,
I'll just like make sure that we're all doing the right thing.
I love
But
that.
like,
Oh, go on.
sorry, I was gonna say, but like in a way that like doesn't make people hate them, you know?
Yeah, I was thinking too of like, because that all totally makes sense. I was also thinking, like, I'm picturing like if there was like a Capricorn in the group, like Capricorn, I feel like would be the one to delegate, but Leo would be the one, like, essentially, like, not taking credit, like, in a dishonest way, but just like they're just more loud about it. Like, I feel like I remember, like, when I was a kid, one of like the roles of a group project was like the communicator, which is not Leo, but I picture Leo, like, Leo would be the one to volunteer to be like, oh, I'll be the one to tell the teacher what we, like, to present to the teacher what we did today, kind of thing.
Mm, yeah.
And then following with that question, let's say this group project, they present whatever their thing was. And after they present their group project, it's boring, it's whatever, no one cares. So no one claps. How does a Leo respond?
Oh, that's hard. No one clapped?
Because like I'm thinking like these are just like high school kids who like aren't actually paying attention, so they don't even realize it's over.
Um,
Like it's not like they're not clapping because it was bad. They just don't care.
yeah, I'm trying to think like I mean, I feel like a Leo would say something like funny. Like they would say something like, I don't know. Not like gesture comedic, but like you're welcome or something
I
like that, you
like
know?
that one, yeah. I had a couple ideas. I had your basic, like a Leo would be like, "Excuse me, please clap." And
Yeah.
then I also pictured a Leo sitting back at their desk and like time continues on around them, but they're so honed in on this, like, no one clapped. And like everyone goes home and they're sitting at their desk just like they haven't moved, and they're like, no one clapped.
No, but I think they would also make it a point to clap like really loudly for the other groups. Like they would sit there and just be like, you know, I don't
Yeah.
even know if that we heard on the mic, but like slow claps,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
just to make it a point to be like, yeah,
This is what we
you
do,
didn't
people.
clap.
Yeah. What does a Leo do for their birthday?
Celebrate them. The birthday's a big deal for a Leo. Like, you know, your Leos in your life because they're like, it's my birthday.
The whole nation is celebrating. Happy birthday, mom.
My dance teacher has a show for her birthday.
Oh my God, really? Like on her
Yeah.
birthday? Wow, that is
Or
very
like she
Leo.
has like so last year there was like a birthday show for her. This year it's like on not the weekend, but it is
A
like
whole
a
show for her
Leo.
birthday.
Mm-hmm.
What's
And they're
like, how does she theme that? Like, is it like birthday songs? Like, how does she
no,
make it?
it was just
Leo?
like it was a burlesque show to celebrate, just like have a party. And she did do an act like with the birthday cake and like smeared it all over her body, which was really hot. But
Okay, Leo wins an award. So I'm thinking like it could be like an Oscar, it could be like best freshman in the freshman
uh,
class or whatever.
they definitely give a speech.
Hmm.
Like they just I think they're just
That's
very
a great
like,
speech.
thank you. Like I'm so honored to be here. Like
I think they had
that's
the
where the
speech prepared. They had it written the night before because they knew they were gonna win.
I have like if you can't see me if you're not watching, but I have like the princess wave or the queen like the monarch like that's
Yeah.
where the monarch vibe is like coming in. Like, oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
And kind of going back to like what I said earlier, where like Aries wants an opponent and Leo does not want an opponent. I see very much like Leo goes like, let's say there was no comp, like let's say it was school president or whatever, but there, like no one
Cool
else,
president, no one
yeah,
competed.
no one else ran. But Leo goes up there like they really just did something, like they really just won everybody over when really they just won by default. But they walk up there and accept it like they just beat everybody.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we've talked all about Leo, which we know you don't have any planets in, how do you feel about Leo, or what do you think about Leo?
I mean, I love a Leo. I don't know. I think they're just really fun and um the Leos that like truly embody themselves. I'm just like, good for you, babe. Like
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Leo's a good one. I think my only thing where I'm like I almost have this like cringe with Leo. I feel like it's because I just so much associate it with being very hot and like the hot summer months. So I just think of a lot of sun, but everything else, like everything that's like described about Leo, I'm like, man, I love Leo. That's so awesome.
Whether you're just beginning your journey with astrology, starting to utilize it as a tool in your craft, or you're just curious about the universe, we are so happy you were here to join us today.
Yes, and if you have any comments or questions, we love hearing from you, and we are loving this process of building a community of astrology students. Everything we do and offer and every way you can contact us is all linked in the show notes. We hope you enjoy talking about Leo as much as we did. Next time, we're going to try something completely different. We are going to go into a conversation with absolutely no plans. So we're going to see just like what we're going to see what conversations come up, what we want to talk about, and just kind of like get to know like have you get to know us a little bit differently than we've done thus far and really just see like what spirit wants us to talk about.
I think that's the key. I'm really excited to see a lot of times our conversations kind of go off in a way that we weren't
Oh
expecting,
yeah.
that definitely wasn't scripted. And that's sometimes the best conversation. So I'm really excited for this. Jordan knows it's a little outside my comfort zone because I'm like, we don't have a plan. But, I think you guys will enjoy it, hopefully. If not, you can always skip it
You can
in the
tell us that you did
episodes.
anyway. But no, I think you probably feel the same way I do about this, but like whenever you and you probably feel this when I do it, but whenever you like have one of those moments where you're like I'm seeing and like I just really enjoy playing with our psychic energies together and I guess like the mutual benefits of like I just love seeing like what you come up with and then what that sparks in my brain that like it's fun and so I'm very excited. And that happens
The
a lot during these
chemistry,
episodes.
babe.
Literally, yeah. And that happens a lot during these, so I'm excited. This podcast is my practice of asking big questions, uncovering the hidden truths, and creating accessible space for others to do the same.
And I'm so grateful to be learning alongside Jordan and all of you, sharing our resources and diving into what it means to connect with the cosmos. Thank you so much for being part of this, and we will see you back in the study room every other Tuesday.